thinking is that in the future, two things I definitely got to do that we should do is that we should. I need to send you like example video or article to look at, dude. I would. It was so crazy. You know what I was planning on doing for this one? Actually, when I pulled into the
What?
parking lot, I was gonna go back to my high school notes and look at stuff. That when I took global civilizations, dude, I had the sickest global civ teacher for global 9 and global 10, bro. I knew like all the history. That guy was an awesome teacher. I actually did a so I did a PowerPoint presentation on ISIS, and he gave me 110 on it. I can send it to you. It was actually like the best. It was one of the best presentations I've ever put together in my entire life.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Dude,
Dude, it's so dope when teachers are like that and they like their
do you have any
storytellers.
teacher like that?
Yeah, I've got very lucky. I've had really good teachers my whole life.
Do you remember
I
the
think
one who taught you whatever it's called like about global civilizations and stuff?
I would say the most memorable one is in middle school, and that was American history. And then in college for World Civ 2, they were
What
both
did you
just very,
have?
they were very charismatic and good storytellers. I don't remember the guy at Lemoyne.
How did he run the class? He or she run the classes, and like was it notes and like him telling
You
stuff?
know, so both of them, this is very interesting because if I ever run a class, this is how I'll do it. He would
Yo,
assign,
Oscar might run a class, ladies and gentlemen. You can always make it out of the streets.
yeah, for real. Um, oh, and so did Katerine for that
Oh wait,
spirituality
yeah,
class or whatever.
theology, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
all three of them,
theology.
what they did was they would assign short readings, and then
Okay.
you had to do those short readings, and then come to class, and then both like all three of them would lecture.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one for it's I've done like pretty good with that one. I had that kind of strategy for AP Bio. That's also another. Dude, my AP Bio teacher, I had him for Bio 9 and AP Bio in 11th grade. That I was so dialed in on like biochem, like cell physiology, metabolism, evolution. It was the most dialed in I've ever been. Like that was probably the highest position of like biology knowledge. Like they would still probably even I'm a little more nuanced now, but like just I was so dialed in. Part of the thing that we had to do at the end of the year was he gave us like this 12-part like in-person interview where he'd ask us about things and we had to describe them to a certain level of specificity. And I absolutely annihilated it.
Yeah. How much do you think of our like when we say these things is like our interest, and how much of it do you think it is like they're good teachers? You
Is
know,
that
because
really
it'd be
part about it? Yeah. And like but there's yeah, teachers is definitely huge.
yeah, because it'd be interesting. Like we gotta talk to someone that is not really into school, but like really enjoyed a class. You know,
What do you mean?
because like I've encountered a lot of people like this where they're like, I didn't like school, but there was one particular teacher, just their teaching style or like maybe presentation and communication method was very good.
Yeah, I feel like it suited their personality, their learning
Yeah, and
style,
that
their patterns pretty well.
yeah, and because if honestly, if you think about a good professor, they're basically entertainers.
Yeah, I think that I've had like a medium, small handful of like I've just had like a Gaussian distribution. A lot of teachers that
Mm-hmm.
such professors that were in the middle, and some were like worse, and then some were like far above.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of a couple examples. Also, another thing is being familiar on like pop culture and what your students are into. Because I remember two good examples. The history teacher in middle school, he was trying to explain how the English defeated the Spanish Armada, and it was because Nathan Drake had like smaller ships that could navigate around the Spanish Armada. And then like he made the whole class laugh because he was like, it was like imagine you're on a tricycle fighting people on like motorcycles or like cars, something like that. You know, but you're
Yeah,
like in middle school, so you think it's funny.
it
But
draws a comedic parallel to it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, or like in I remember in freshman bio, um, Dr. Page was like explaining the symbiotic, like when this big cell ate the small cell.
Endosymbiont theory with the mitochondria.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Dude, we're gonna
then
have to run an episode on that one.
we are.
That oh, dude, that gets me hyped. But yeah, anyways, Page.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever. We'll just say the story, then we'll start. Um, yeah, he was like, as soon as whatever the big cell ate the little cell, he's like literally ran up and down like the lecture hall stairs.
Dude, those kinds of things I think can emotionally, uh, like you can inflict emotion or evoke like internal emotion out of someone, and that might help them retain the material better.
Yeah,
Dude, for the life of me, I could not remember mechanisms in organic chemistry.
I had a really bad time in that class. Speaking of like professors that just did not
Bro
interest me.
was a straight up tard. Oh, Oscar turned the dude. Oscar be turning the autism dial up to 13.4 for organic, bro.
Dude, I think it's
Same.
opposite.
Mine was at.
I think I had turned it down, bro.
You got to turn the autism down.
Yeah, I think I lost control, like lost battery, lost power.
When did you take? I took that sophomore and freaking junior year.
I think we all did.
Yeah,
I think
I remember there's a lot of people getting hit with that. You tend to take gen, right? General chemistry.
yeah, but I killed that because that was
Yeah,
easy.
I murdered that in its sleep, bro. I murdered.
Yeah,
But yeah, I remember it was like spring semester, Gen Chem 2, and I got hammered and was up until 2:30 a.m. the night before in St. Mary's, and walked into the test that I had. It was like 9:30 the next day, and destroyed that thing, dude. We just
remember that you would always destroy a chemistry test.
physical chemistry. The lecture was like mid, but it was like mid high. I did research with that, dude. Pretty cool.
You had Massengill, right?
Nah, that was for inorganic. I don't even remember his name.
He was a G, bro.
Yeah, I like Massengale. I didn't do well in this class though. But it's like I wonder how much of it there was my up here.
Mm-hmm. All right, bro. Tell me about my enemy. Tell me about Columbo.
I want to emphasize what I told you earlier before we started recording is that what did you learn in high school about him through what kind of lens?
Honestly, neutral, which is good.
I
But it
think
was
so.
just
I would say like around that too for myself.
yeah. I mean, I guess on a pH scale, maybe like a 7. You know, because it's like, oh yeah, Columbus did this, and then boom, America, Native Americans and colony people were having a party for Thanksgiving.
I I heard that one of his political rivals wrote like what would you want to say a lot of descriptions about him, and so there's there's people now modern day 2023, I think that's the right year, are citing this guy as a source. That seems biased.
Isn't that
Then I'm
crazy?
like, but I'm also like, I started neutral, and then there's just a really high prevalency of content out there right now that vilifies him, and like that's like if 5 is neutral and 10 is villain and 0 is like glorifying, they're averaging like 7.88.
Yeah.
Like a large prevalence. I saw like 2. You know, bro, you always gotta steel man everything.
Yeah. So like I'm cool with them like teaching it. Like of course you have to because it's history. I think it would just be best though to I think in general in history you should teach it as neutral as possible. But then
Yeah,
like
and it's so
that's
hard. Like, what is really neutral? And like you said, the winners write history. We talked about that quote before, and it's like how dude. That's why I think primary sources from history are the gnarliest because
then
you can
it's
go ahead.
go on. No, I was just gonna, dude, it's crazy because then you're saying like, well, people are citing first like first world accounts of like his enemy, you know?
Well, that's the thing is that you should also have context of who the primary source is. You
Yeah,
know,
because
um,
that happens a lot with Napoleon. I didn't realize because you know how there's propaganda that Napoleon had like short man syndrome and like the French aren't good at wars, like the French give up easily.
yeah, there's
That's
that stereotype that's going around there, dude.
but that's all British propaganda.
That he, so he wasn't really sorry that he wasn't really
Well,
that
yeah,
short.
but everybody was short back then,
Was that
But
true?
they vilified him, and actually I learned
Oh
this.
dang, bro! Just because the British,
I
dude,
learned
Napoleon.
I learned this that prior to Hitler, when you asked people who was the worst person to exist, they would say Napoleon.
Yeah, who are those
Yeah,
people?
that's what I'm saying. British,
Yo,
because
I
you,
think that means we gotta take a trip to Britain, bro.
yeah, bro.
I
Because
think we
I
gotta
guess
take
it's crazy because like it seems obvious, but I didn't realize that a lot of history is probably written from a British lens.
that because they won a lot, bro. They won a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah. But yo, I think neutral for myself too.
Hmm.
But then it's like I said, the prevalency of things that are slightly vilifying him is pretty
Yeah, I
high.
think it gets tricky because like okay, if you're talking about war, you're always gonna read the winner's perspective, but I think just probably other events, you could probably talk about a neutral point because it's like you can't really bias like Aztec history or like the building of
Dude,
pyramids.
he's like the if you want to think about it analogously, if you think about like a protein, like protein and then nitrogen are in all protein. It's what counts, like what makes amino acid. He's like nitrogen, and the Latinas are like a protein. He was like one of those beginning parts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Miller Urey style, bro.
yeah,
So I got yo. Here's an interesting thing I found on a comment on of a YouTube video where Michael Knowles. I don't know if you know who he is. Um, did a defense again for he was like a Christopher Columbus apologist, and one of the second comment was that Christopher Columbus is celebrated in Latino culture.
hmm, yeah.
Did you have you heard anything about that? Dude,
No.
you're literally from the country that got named after him. Like, bro, how bad of a guy? So he was like, how bad of a guy can you be if they're naming countries, towns, cities after you? Potentially,
the
though, really
win,
bad.
but the winner named it though. That's the thing.
Dude, yeah, I was like, he made an argument. I'm like, he could still be pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I joke around.
Yeah,
Because
because
whatever.
dude, that was so
It
funny. Did you know that Columbus statue was in that part of your city?
yes,
Oh, dude, that was
but
so
like
funny. I figured it, but it was the timing was hilarious.
I do it. I do it for the joke, But it's like I kind of gotta thank him, bro, because I wouldn't be here without him.
Facts, dude. A lot of my experience in life wouldn't be here. Probably all of them. I probably wouldn't exist.
Nah,
That's
bro,
like
you gotta thank Genghis Khan.
thank Genghis Khan plus Christopher Columbus, bro. Christopher Khan and Genghis Columbus or whatever.
Yeah, but dude, tell me some facts or like tell me
Oh
like
wait, oh yeah, I got a question for you about it. So,
uh,
you know that he went. Do you know that he went to Portugal? For he was Italian. He went to the Portugal monarch to try to get loans, like people ships. Do you know he went to Portugal?
I
First got
did,
denied,
I did.
right? So then he went to Ferdinand Isabella in Spain, and they denied him. Guess how long he had to wait until he got like another submission, like
How long?
request. Date no, I want you to guess.
Oh, maybe like three
Unless
years,
you
five
know it.
years.
Yeah, he had to wait 5 years. And dude, he
Yeah.
was all about it. Bro was poor. He was poor, had a kid, his wife died, like no money.
Mm, damn.
Bro. And then you gotta wait 5 years to like submit your like life attempt at becoming a goat. And dude had to wait 5 years, and that made me realize how impatient I am. This guy waited 5 years. I would have completely forgotten about it. Like you apply for like your dream job, like you might forget about it in 2 years.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's like a tangent similar to that. So I realized if I ever come across an idea and I need funding, the only way it's going to get funded is if you present a practicality for the military. Because I heard a similar story with Galileo. Um, when he invented the telescope, he took it to the patron of Florence or whatever, wherever he was from, and he was like, "Look, now you can look at ships from far away. So this has like defense practicality." And the king was like, "All right, make him, give him money." But really, what he wanted was to fund his astrology research.
Dude, that's that's a cool one. Because that's what do you call it nowadays? The military industrial complex?
Yeah,
Bro. That's a
we got to.
fact. I've never heard that before. That's really cool.
You know where I got it from, bro? I got it
Where
from
did
a
you get that
source
from?
I got it from a source I don't like, but we're gonna have to do an episode about him one day. I got it from Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He said that Galileo was basically like throwing up a Trojan horse. He knew that he would get funding if he gave like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing in my head that would initially lead me to believe that that kind of claim is false. And if you think about the principle, I think it's extremely accurate. Just off the top of my head, I think that would be extremely accurate because you see it
Yeah,
a lot, dude.
because you think about NASA
Oh,
nowadays, the internet was originally military.
you can. I mean, you've seen the U.S. government. We live in America. You've seen the U.S. government's distribution of where they put their money.
Yeah,
It's all into the military,
all military.
bro. We're still primitive in at heart, and I love to see it.
Dude, I'm wondering, you know how people love to say that claim of like, oh, we're still pretty primitive the way our brain operates. I wonder when evolution catches up.
What do you mean?
Like, if humans continue to exist for another couple thousand years, let's just say 2,000, 4,000, maybe even 10,000, like, when does evolution catch up to like our society and our technology?
Would you mean that in the sense that we destroy each other, or that
Um,
we stop trying to kill each other?
yeah, I mean it in that sense as well. And I also mean it in the sense of like we live in cities and stuff like that and like have cars, phones. But I guess there's kind of evidence now
Like
that
how
the
far
phones
away we get from the from a quote primitive nature.
no, like reverse. Like when does nature when does evolution catch up to our current way of life and maybe any advancements that happen in the future, you know? Like
And okay, in
like for
what way like
example,
do you catch it
what
up?
if like
Yeah,
kids were born and they already knew how to like operate iPhones? You know what I mean?
like from day one.
Yeah.
Oh, when does this like get installed into the
Hmm.
hardware?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Is that kind of dude? That's a really sick question. I don't. Is that kind of thing even heritable in that way? It's got to be.
That was yeah, because I was gonna bring up that there's like
I don't
evidence
know
now.
though, bro. We literally talked about that low key with
Yeah,
the dude.
that gets
That's an
into
interesting question though. I
yeah.
yo, I'm putting that one down. I'm putting that one down in the notes.
All right. Yeah, because then you get into like epigenetics and stuff, and then the only example I know is that people are getting what's called text neck.
Yeah, right. I heard about that too. Um. Well, let's think about this though. What kind of things do we see? Like we were just talking about the military. Competition is something that has been installed in the hardware. It seems, but is what kinds of uses of tools analogous to the iPhone do we see seemingly installed in the hardware?
I think it's hardware that can serve multiple purposes, you know, because specifically technology kind of really plays on the dopaminergic mechanics that we have already like pre-installed.
Like kids know how to swim. Or no, sorry, they know how to hold their breath.
I thought it was swim too, like
No,
infants.
it's that's some that might be maybe, but no, there's another one, throwing also.
Yeah.
Um, there's some there that it would probably take a stupid long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We gotta make some connections, bro. We really gotta talk to some people.
That would take I would guess that would take I would consider that time inappropriate. I
Hmm.
wish I could live that long.
I think
Dude, if
so as well.
I
But
want
then,
to outlive everyone.
okay,
If
so here's a show that really plays with that concept you just said. I forget what it was called, but it was like basically uh, the show is about a god that's the personification of dreams, and then he meets a man in like the 16th century, and then that man is like, I wish I could live forever. So the personification of death and personification of dream make a bet of like how long is he going to last. So they give the man immortality, and then like 4 centuries go by and they check up on him once a century, and then they ask him like, do you want to die? And he's like, no, because he's like, despite becoming rich and then losing it all, like losing children, losing loved ones,
Mhm.
he still wants to keep on living because like he's just like life is so addictive, like the ups and the downs.
Yeah, I am an extremely selfish person. I think that's the main trait that makes me want to live forever.
Yeah.
Dude, so when I was in Club Space, I thought I died. And I was like, turned around, and Liam was a little concerned. And basically, it was like, you died, but this is where you're going to be forever. I was like, yo, let's go. I was so hyped. And when I was coming back, I was like, nah, fam, you're still alive. I was like, dang.
I mean, if there's a heaven, bro, it's probably like that.
Dude, I would rep Club Space for 9 million sets of infinity.
Yeah.
Thanks. Shout out Christopher Columbus for creating Latino culture, bro.
And for creating space inadvertently.
Oh, and inadvertently creating space. Facts, dude. Yo, I brought tickets to Hugel at Club Space.
Oh, that's a good one. For
Yo!
when?
September. See, as you can see, I'm still coughing like mad, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The
tickets
allegedlys.
with Hugel. The tickets for Club Space with Hugel September 9th.
Oh, nice. It's pretty soon.
That's a Sunday, dude. I was thinking of just flying in there Saturday night, showering like a madman at home, and like packing nothing, dude, and going there and just not buying a hotel, ripping Miami for like 32
24
hours,
hours. Yeah.
32 hours, a 32-hour Miami rip just to see Hugel.
Yeah.
And I
It's
was
not a
like,
bad
you know
idea.
what I'm gonna do actually is just look up Hugel like performing in New York City or something.
Ooh, is it anytime soon?
Let's Hugel. Dude, that guy has the tunes, man.
I really like how he remixes the salsa.
Oh,
That's like the
bro,
one.
it's
That's like the one you showed me
great.
about Michael Beebe.
Michael Beebe. Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, his newest. Dang, he's in LA. LA is a little bit too sketchy for me.
Mm.
Oh, he's gonna be at EDC Orlando. Oh no, Ibiza in October 7th. But shout out Hugo and Christopher Columbus for again the Latino culture. That was like how Michael Knowles put that 2/3 into his interview. He was like, "Oh yeah, thanks. You can the entire Hispanic Latino culture wouldn't exist because it is the like contributions of both the Spanish and the native blah blah blah." He's like that, and I'm like, yes, more power to the Latinos, and you know that it only made sense to me to talk about Christopher Columbus on one of our early podcasts because the name of our podcast is in Spanish. Point one and
Right.
point two, we are deaf, dude. It was a huge move for us to have a Spanish titled podcast today and yesterday. While I was out of commission, unfortunately out of the gym for 3 days, I feel like garbage. I found a podcast also titled in Spanish that is the best podcast on the internet.
What's the name?
El Secundo.
Oh, okay. Well, we're
It's
gonna surpass
Craig.
them.
No, bro, he is on. Well, there's definitely one person always above him, but you know what he's called. You know what it means? The second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He silver medaled in the Abu Dhabi Combat Championships last year. He's that dude whose interview I showed you where he was on the UFC Fight Pass and he kept like touching his nose after. You know remember what I'm talking about?
Oh,
But
yeah.
his like running joke. He's Australian. His like running joke is he always places second because historically he's placed second in, like a lot of major jiu-jitsu tournaments, and it's funny. So he titled his podcast. He has the most out of pocket jokes ever. Did you see? I put on my story because he was in LA. He was coaching Alexander Volkov. Guess who his like third podcast host is? Izzy, bro. The last style bender.
Izzy's on the pod?
Dude, I'll send it to you. You should listen to it. I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah.
Actually. Nah, dude, dude, him and Izzy talk about some fun. He's like on Theo Von level of comedy.
Yeah, the punchlines.
Dude. The Australian is just nuts. But when I was like, yo, Craig Jones's podcast is in Spanish, we're definitely on the right track.
Yeah.
He's the guy I put on my story the other day, and he was like, because he was in Vegas coaching Volkanovski. After his grappling match, he was like in LA for 13 days, and he was like, he starts like 13 days of nose beers, debauchery. And he was like, we did a lot of cocaine and Molly in Vegas, and then he went to Ibiza after for his birthday, and he's like, we did a lot of cocaine and Molly, and we decided to, I just like say, mixing some ketamine. That's so out of pocket. Dude, so have you ever heard of you know what a false reap is?
No.
It's a jujitsu move where if someone like tries to pass you with this, or like if you can get their knee to go through both of your knees and then put your elbow through, you can invert underneath them. But he wanted to make a shirt that says false reap allegations.
This guy's good with the marketing.
He wears a shirt that says keep jujitsu gay, and it's tie-dye rainbow colors. Yo,
he's really good at the marketing.
He's insane at the marketing. His team is called the B Team. They're in Austin, Texas, and he was like, this dude tried to break into one of their guys' cars, and this dude there's like some homeless guy tried to break into this dude's car, and the guy's of judo black belt is like 6'9" from Ghana. This massive black athlete dude. Dude hit him with a judo throw and broke the dude's leg. And he was like, I'll send you the podcast. You just gotta listen to it. He was like, pull the marketing thing out of that.
What do you think about judo though?
If you hit someone, if you get like throws that you can hit someone with, where you don't need the gi or grips to set them up, and you can just hit someone with like something like a uchimata, that would be pretty good for like self-defense. Like if you knew like 3 judo moves really well, like self-defense wise, you'd probably be pretty good.
Word.
I'll send you that one too. But yeah, we're definitely in the right. So he just started his podcast too, April 1st. We're definitely in the right market for the podcast names. He went on to Alex Jones' podcast too.
Oh boy.
13 days. All right, we have to go back. So, what as good as that's happening as we started with a thing that we want to talk about, and we're just going. off of
Yeah.
that. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So, how long? The freaking Spanish dubs, bro. How long do you think Christopher Columbus was at sea for? Do you know?
Had to at least been a year.
At sea,
Yeah.
he was there for just over 2 months, 61 days.
Oh, you mean like how long was he on land for?
And so, like, how long was he on land? And then he was sailing, sailing, sailing. When did he hit next land?
Oh, okay. Um, I think probably from Spain to the Americas would be from anywhere to like 6 months to a year.
Yeah, now it was 2 months. He messed up. So a question about that is, do you think you could go with like no? The only way that you know the days, you don't have a calendar, really. Are you gonna be like, yo, we gotta turn this thing around? Because I think he thought he could be there in one. So he thought it was 3,000 miles. It was like under three. He thought it was well under 3,000 miles, but it was really 3,500 miles.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah.
so we had like he was like he'd be like, yo, we'll get there in this many days. How many days after? He's like, all right, let's say he was like, you're on the ship. He goes, yo, we'll be there in 30 days. What happened? How many days after? Like, yo, we're turning this boat around, bro. You're taking us on a wild goose chase, Chris. Yo,
I could
mutiny.
I I could run 2 months, bro, on a
Well,
boat.
no, like, what if he prefaces the whole trip with, yo, we'll be there in 30 days?
Then I would get a little suspicious. But like
Yeah, does this guy know what he's talking about?
at the 2 month mark though, I would still believe. I'd be like, all right, like we had a little detour. If it got to like 3 months plus, then I'd be like, all right, time for a mutiny.
Yo, because he was on one of the ships, he was almost on, dude, they were almost in mutiny mode.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think I would, if we were like 2 days over, I'd start getting angry. Bro, you're at sea. You're at sea, dude. I can't even make it to work without my GPS, bro, and I go there every day. Dude, you just look out there. You're on the coast at that time, knowing what they know then, bro. You're just like, what's on the other side is just crazy. Because Christopher Columbus was like, yeah, we can get to Asia. He didn't know that there was a whole landmass in between there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I really think I could stick out the two
You
months,
think you could
but
stick out an extra? So you
yeah.
think you'd be like, all right, another 30 days. Wake up. You're doing ship things. You're doing Santa Marina things, and you're like, all right, another day.
Yeah,
Another day. Another
you're just
day. Another
you're,
day.
you're just
The
hanging with the
15 days.
homies.
Nah, bro. It's 1492 conditions, bro.
Bro, but you're
Dude,
doing
there's
some
probably rats crawling out of the
you're
woodworks
doing some
of the ship.
allegedlys every day, bro.
Bro, what? You think that they were getting lit on Christopher Columbus's ship?
Yeah.
That's probably
You
where
drink a little bit of a mushroom infested beer, like some fungus,
some
have some
sea.
hallucinations.
Check out the seawater situation.
Hell no.
Um. Okay, so did you hear about this? This would I don't. So I heard two different story versions of this. The first one I heard was that he was offering I have a conversion here. The currency of the day was Maravedis, and he offered the person who saw land first 1,000 of these guys, um, which I think is like would be like $3,000 a year for the rest of their life, and for some reason I think it's a lot more. But I don't have that. I have one of the conversions up, but it's not that one. So some dude named Rodrigo. Have you heard about this?
No.
Some dude named Rodrigo saw land, but Christopher Columbus goes, "Nah, homie, I saw that like yesterday night. I'm gonna give myself the reward." Bro, your reaction.
That's
I was like,
terrible.
yo! But then I heard that like apparently he really had seen the light the day before, and it was like everyone looked that way for like for like the next however many days. I think there might be land. I heard him word, and then he gave himself the reward. Not that he was like, because the way I tell it, he was like, nah, it was really me, dude. Oh, I wish I had that conversion. I'm disappointed I messed that up. I have a different conversion for him. But nah, could you imagine? Like he's offering some reward for like a certain amount of money. Every year for the rest of your life, you get to see land, and then he's like, "No, it was me, bro. I would chop him down on the spot, bro. Christopher Columbus is going down."
Bro, you would have changed world history.
Could you imagine being on that ship and let's say it's that situation is what actually happened, and you're like, you remember everyone's looking because they want the reward, and then some dude named Rodrigo hits it, and then Christopher Columbus walks out and he goes, "Nope, I saw it earlier."
That's terrible.
Dude, I would literally do. Oh, now you haven't heard of that happening.
No, that's a good story though.
Um, that is. I try to find a lot of like interesting when like I try to listen for stuff where I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Um, 5 years. That one. Okay. I have like four of them. I'm gonna try to pick 4 questions. I'm gonna try to pick the most interesting one. Yo, right. So here, this isn't a question, but I'm gonna turn it into a question. What age or like age range do you think Christopher Columbus was in um when he taught himself the following uh topics? He taught himself map making, contemporary mathematics, Latin, Spanish, and Portuguese.
Early 30s.
He was in his mid early 20s. And
Nice.
apparently he was like illiterate until he started learning that kind of stuff. And you know how we hear about all these things about neuroplasticity and it's harder. Of course, it is true, according to our most recent understanding of how the brain works, is that it is true that it is harder to learn things as you get older. But that's pretty, to learn that amount of stuff, uh, map making, contemporary mathematics, Latin, Spanish, and Portuguese. And he started it, learning that stuff from being illiterate in his early mid 20s. It's really, I don't really see anyone doing similar stuff nowadays, you know.
Right.
I thought that was really motivating, actually, because like if you think about it, how map making was to them relative, because everything was about exploration, or a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things were about exploration. um in his, like, at your age right now, teaching yourself like how to program AI outputs on your own, that's a pretty hefty task.
Right. But they, I mean, they just had so much more time on their hands. They didn't really have any distractions.
Yeah, there's not this thing that would
Yeah.
yeah, and that's a fact, bro. You know what's interesting? Actually, I had to go like a few hours without this at McGillicuddy's party, and I was like, "Yo, I'm caveman mode right now." Oh yeah, dude. I want that goes back to literally how this also changes our perception of time. Because I was like, that's what the second thing I thought of when it was like, yeah, Christopher Columbus had to wait 5 years for those dudes to get back to him, and I was like, yo, that's so long. I would not be able to wait 5 years for that kind of thing. And I was like, what has really changed that? And this has really hit hard on concept of time, like time communications, bro. I can send a message to some homie in Europe right now, like bam. And Christopher Columbus was trying to figure out if the country we're on, like, what he didn't even know that the land we're on right now existed.
Yeah. That delay in communication was crazy.
5 years, and just learn. I've been going on like passive history binges thanks to Casper recently, and that's been the biggest thing that has been hitting me is how long like people would have to write letters to each other, bro. Um, bro, you're in a relationship with a girl, you gotta write letters to her. That might take 15 days, bro. World War II, even not even in the past 100 years, bro. Some dude, if you, I mean, this is what happened in Saving Private Ryan. I don't know if this is true or not, but yo, some government lad is gonna pull up if your son dies. Like, yo, they dead. You ain't getting like you ain't getting an email. I don't know what you get nowadays.
Yeah, it's a good question. But I saw that with the War of 1812. Like there was some weird political tensions going on between like us, Britain, and France, and then some like political thing happened here in America, and they sent a letter of war to England. But England had already
America
sent
did.
a yeah, America
Oh, they
sent a
sent them at the
letter.
same time.
No, no. So America sent a war, like a
Sorry.
letter of war to England, and at the same time, England had sent a letter to America saying like, "Yo, chill out. Like, we're gonna keep the peace." And then like England got the letter, and they were like, "We don't know what to do with this." And then America didn't get the letter till like later on, but America was like, "Yeah, we need to stick to our guns." Like we declared war, so they went and attacked Canada, and then England had no choice but to be like, "All right, guess it's wartime."
Yeah, bro. Dude, Christopher Columbus had to send a message back to Spain and said, "We got there."
Yeah,
Bro,
bro.
you text your grandma, you like drive down like 1,000 miles or somewhere like down the East Coast. You text your grandma, she gets it like that, bro. Yeah.
Bro, that's you just made me think like, damn. So did
Bro,
someone
that
have to
is
like someone had to get back on the boat and like sail back to Spain?
yo, nuts, bro.
Damn.
Nuts. Yo, homies won't even walk 2 miles home from the bar nowadays.
Facts.
Like, I gotta get an Uber, and I've been, dude, I gotta get an Uber. Bro, Christopher Columbus sailed back from the New World.
Dude, remember in college when you would like run it all the way to Syracuse and back?
No, bro, so, that only happened twice, but I'll tell you one thing is that I walked from Syracuse to Lemoyne to our townhouse probably like 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
And from like 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. I was a vermin. Have you made that walk? Have you made that? I would put that, dude, honestly, if Christopher Columbus to America is like a 10 out of 10, I would put walking from SU to Lemoyne at like a 14 out of 10. Um, Mainly because you add in the fact that the Syracuse
You encounter the
college,
Syracuse natives.
well, that and that the Syracuse University mascot is orange. You know what they say about oranges? At 3 a.m. I can't say it because it will get our podcast deleted. And um, we kind of need this thing. It's basically supplying all the income in my life. Um, but yeah, I would put that at a 14. Syracuse is a little bit more difficult to navigate than the open Atlantic Ocean, 3,500 miles of space. Uh, Condense it that plus another 1,000 down into 2 miles, and you have the walk back from
Yeah,
SU.
I could see it.
Dude, I if I mean, you right now with the current modes of transportation that we have access to, think about like you right now. What would you say when you get to the land and then Christopher Columbus starts talking about going back?
Be
Dude,
like,
would you hop on or would you stay?
nah, bro, I'm staying. Burn the boats. Dude, he should have
Oh,
never came back, bro. He
He
should have
did it
never
like
came
3 or 4 times.
bro. He could have had all the Latinas to himself.
He would have to have made them, bro. You would have had to have made the Latinas. Yo, shout out Christopher Columbus. How you might actually get in trouble nowadays walking around just going up to random people being like, shout out Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be politically correct now.
Do you think, dude? What is Connecticut? What kind of city politically is it usually, as far as like
It's liberal,
voting? Why haven't they removed the Christopher Columbus? Yeah,
bro. That's what I'm saying.
bro, dude, watch
Because
tomorrow. Watch tomorrow. You'll just hear whirring sounds as a helicopter with a hook, with a giant hook coming down. It stabs Chris Columbus in the throat, and then it takes him away. You look out your apartment, and you're like, "There goes my arch enemy, my arch nemesis."
finally,
Oh, finally, you see a bunch of people crowd the streets and start dancing.
2,000-year revenge over here.
Wait, were you saying that you were also surprised that they had not removed Christopher Columbus?
Yeah, because my first thought was like, kids don't get that day off in school anymore. So if you
I
don't
think
get the day off in school, can you at least tear down the statue, man?
Is there if you have I think for every person there's a statue of, there should be a day off school in general, because there's a
Mm-hmm.
statue of Arnold Schwarzenegger in Ohio outside the Columbus Convention Center. I think we should have Arnold Schwarzenegger Day in high schools across America.
Yeah.
You know, let's say I get a little creative one night. I buy a huge 9,000 pound block of ice, and I carve an ice statue of myself. I think we should have a Philip R. Somerville Day.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so you know what's a weird one?
What's up?
Like prior to all this like woke stuff, I do find it a bit weird that there was like Confederate statues.
Being taken down.
No, just
Oh, you see them
existing in general. No, I don't mean here.
even after Civil War. You mean like they should have been taken down after Civil War, or sorry?
No, they were created after the Civil
Yeah,
War.
they were. I'm got the
Like-
autism up to 4 right now.
Yeah. But I just think that's weird, man. You know, because
you're
like,
saying
why
your
would,
mic just cut out.
like, okay, I'm saying taking the
It's like
idea.
a Southern pride thing, right?
Yeah, but it's like that's just weird because like Northerners, I guess, tolerated that. You know.
Well, I mean, it's those kinds of things are probably commissioned by state, not federal government. So probably like that kind of stuff like stays news within their state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but okay, okay, so from a neutral perspective, you know, if I was learning about the history of America and I found out that there was a group of people that seceded, right?
Mhm.
And I knew nothing about the whole race thing, but I was just like, oh, why would you have statues up of traitors, you know, people that committed
Yeah,
treason?
neutrally, but I think like what I said, like it's important to factor in the culture of local governments and states themselves. You know, because like it's still to them something in their history. You know, within like uh southern parts of Virginia, South Carolina, where it's like to them they're proud of it historically.
Yeah.
You know, well, it's like a separate, like how Texas kind of is in ways.
Yeah, but Texas is lit. I love Texas.
Yeah. Did you we'll determine if it's lit or not. How was their house music? Did you get to experience any?
Dude, it was bad. It was bad, but
Really?
I follow the Secret Houston page or whatever, and they were saying that there was like a new underground club.
You know what? I think we should rip, bro. Have a little bit of a Christopher
Where?
Columbus journey on our own. Is Austin?
I do want to go to Austin. Yeah,
We should Austin. I want to hit Austin, Chicago, Boston, and see. Mainly, my judgments on a city are based on Latina density and how much house music is going on there.
how do you measure the density?
And
By
jujitsu gyms.
cubic meters.
Sorry, what's that?
I said, how do you measure the Latina density? Is it by cubic centimeters?
Latina, dude, I could honestly come up with a whole diagram for this. Latina, would be number of Latinas per unit volume.
Okay.
Number of
All
Latina
right.
per, and certain Latinas get a higher Latina density score than others. That um in the it goes very much with the theme of Christopher Columbus right now, but one of the highest ones would definitely be Colombian, which you've now converted to after
Oh yeah.
after the mustache dismissal. But yeah, they're
Bro.
definitely one of the highest. That's
Yeah,
just my
yeah.
personal skill. I'm not saying that's facts, so don't try to call me a racist because I love all of
You
them.
you got to make sure you're measuring correctly. You know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure.
It's what is it? It's like a proportional, like um, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Because
But
you got to be
still,
careful with the fridges.
with the fridges. Um, the yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll
Shout out the units.
um a city actually that got a low score on a lot of things that I've put value in a city that is Columbus, Ohio. Have you been there?
No, I can't go to the name. That's the city named after my arch nemesis.
Dude, they didn't have a lot of house music. Logan Paul was there though, in the bar. Bradley Martin was there at the bar. It's called what is it called? Town. It's called Town Hall. One of my buddies, bro, gave a bartender $110 in tips that night.
Ooh,
No, bro,
wow.
I definitely told you that story. We were at the ATM, and then we were taking money out for the bar, and it was like we were just hearing people in line. They're like, "Yo, covers like freaking 15, 20, $20, whatever." And we're like, "Yo, we gotta pull out more money." I see this guy pull out like I watched him pull out $110. And we were at the bar. It was Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. I put like 300 beans down on Colby Covington to win. And it's funny because I paid for like everything on our trip to Miami with the money that I won. And dude, it was like right in the middle of the Colby fight or after, where I see my buddy hand the bartender his card. I go, dude, I watched you pull out over 100 beans out of the ATM. He goes, dude, she's so hot that I've been tipping her $10 every time I buy a drink. So Columbus definitely has some plus
That's
side to it.
ridiculous.
Um, And then the last time I was there, dude, I was walking out of this. Oh, it was a different bar that's literally right up the road, and I was like, there were these two girls and this dude at me, and all my friends were outside, and I walk out there. I'm going walk, and this dude gets heated, bro. This guy got heated at me. Like homie and I were about to throw hands, man. This dude
No
was like
way.
in a
Over what?
jacket. He was because I told him to walk out the door. Bro was a midget. He was kind of a midget, and
A
dude, you
literal
know,
midget?
nah, like he was on his way there though, bro.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
if you like put like 5 rocks on top of his head, he'd probably be there in 3 months. But you know my homie Brandon,
Yeah, I think so.
the one who always goes to I go to the gym with.
Okay, okay, yeah.
He have you seen him at Lemoyne?
I had a class with him, yeah.
He's a big dude. He's way bigger now. I had him, my friend Evan, who's a unit, and he wrestled for like 13 years of his life. And then my friend Tabor. Dude, it was us. We had like two guys, and I was ready to dump this dude on his dome piece in High North Street in the namesake of Columbus, bro. In the city of Columbus. And then these three like Asian girls came out of nowhere. They're like, "Yo, you don't want to fight him?" Pointing at me like we watched him fight earlier because I had matches earlier that day at the Arnold Classic. And bro, I was so ready to duke it out with this poser in Columbus. That I give it a good rating for that. Um,
Nice.
but I think medium poor Latina density and poor house music.
Yeah.
Dude, have you even been to that area of the United States of America? Have you been to the Midwest, Oscar?
Nope. Farthest I've been is down south.
You meet any farmers down south?
Oh yeah, plenty. I met more cowboys actually.
Actual cowboys.
Yeah.
What part of their character made you got to the part and then you're like, this person in front of me is a cowboy?
Definitely the hat.
That is not enough. Okay, bro, that is not enough,
No,
in
I'm
my
kidding. I'm
opinion,
kidding.
to confer a cowboy. Like they at least also have to have a gun and boots with spurs on them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, makes sense.
Okay, if I'll have to go to Texas at some point in my existence. What I will do is I'll pack you with a suitcase, bring you two, and we're gonna walk around. Like I said, we gotta rip Austin. We gotta check out the music
The
scene there.
mothership.
The oh, we'll rip the mothership. Facts. Maybe see Theo Vaughn. Maybe fight Andrew Schultz again, bro. You
Bro,
gotta go. You
yeah.
gotta
He's
prepare
gonna
the
get,
mustache.
no, he's got
Prepare
to give
the
me my mustache back.
No, bro. Dude. You okay? Whenever we go, I'm sure it'll be like within a year. You get the mustache ready. You got time.
Bro,
And
he stole my mustache.
we'll wait, dude. We will wait for Andrew Schultz. You know what we're gonna do, bro? We'll go set up email notifications for Andrew Schultz at the mothership, and then we'll have you in training camp until then with the mustache.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, but you know that's the guy who didn't turn into a cowboy after going to Texas to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan stayed Joe Rogan, bro. He's influenceable.
Bro, he was already Neanderthal, man.
But I will point out to you the first cowboy, and I'll say to him,
Well, dude, oh no, man, I forgot. I went to the actual rodeo, bro.
"No way, dude! Yeah, I remember you posted on your story. What brought you there?"
Dude, I saw a cow person whip a little calf and throw it, like body slam it on the floor, bro.
What is a cow person? A half cow, half person?
I don't know. I was just being.
Wait, what?
I was being politically
like,
correct, bro.
Like a handler, a handler.
A Hitler.
No, you like a cattle handler, a rancher?
No, bro. Okay. So it was a whole game they played, bro. It was like they let a calf run out, right? That calf is probably like, "Oh, I'm free. Where's mom? Dad? You know?"
Where's mom? This dude. Where's mom? Fuck yeah,
dude. And then it gets freaking caught, dude, by a lasso, and then the cowboy body slams it.
Bodies. What I'm picturing in my head is way fun. It's hilarious.
Dude, it is kind of hilarious. At the same time, I'm like, wow, this feels a bit primitive.
Bro, he goes on free. Where's the bomb?
And then also they were like, they were doing the classic like, how long can I stay on the bull?
Oh, the 8-second thing. Have you ever done one of those? Not with a real bull. But one of those mechanized one.
No,
dude, I did it once and I hurt myself. It was like, and then I might try. Of course, it again. You did. I might try it again this year. But I like pulled it like glute medius, trying to stay on that. I got
your meatus.
my gluteus medius.
Okay.
One of my external rotators. Did you hop in there?
Nah, bro.
They weren't trying to get you in there. Who are you with?
Just some peeps, some cow peoples.
Yeah. The people who are in your program, you did stuff with them sometimes, right?
Yeah. No, but this was I actually went to the rodeo with like some people that came to visit me.
Oh yeah, no, I remember because I remember calling you the few days after. Now I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna be honest. This is a complete lie. Growing up partially on a farm, whenever I would see that when I was young, I'd be like, "Yo, cool." But now I see cows every day in Syracuse, New York, bro. I see cows every day in Syracuse, New York, and it's just a disgusting sight. It's a disgusting sight. if
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Bro, I
What? Hold
hope
on. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
people
whoa.
really enjoyed learning about Christopher Columbus
Yeah. So we
today.
start. This might be um a historical tangent series where we we're starting. This is Latin American colonization. We're gonna follow Latin American colonization as far as we want because it's our podcast. You
Yep.
know.
Yep.
So the next steps we're gonna be talking about next time. This is like a micro theme for now. Do you want to talk about what you research next podcast that we do in the same?
Yeah.
We're doing like these micro theme thing. We'll do one of the goats. And, bro, we go out in the streets of Connecticut. How many homies do you think know who Simone Bolivar is? That's who it's gonna
Bro,
be on. That's who we're focusing on. Go out in the streets of Connecticut. How? Just guess.
no one.
We'll end it. We'll end it with a guess. Really,
No
bro?
one. No one.
Damn.
I know no one unless they're like South American descent.
But yeah, I bet you even a few of them, maybe they're like
Yeah.
19th generation removed. Word. So we'll end with that. You don't think many people. I'll hit the streets of Syracuse and I'll come back with a number. All right.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. We should run
So
it. We should run the data.
we'll run it. We'll run the data. I'll start at work tomorrow.
All right.
But all right. I hope everyone enjoyed the first part of this micro series.
Bye, everyone.
Yep. Bye. Yo, I have a really